Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rayge, and we are back today to unpack the next node here for Dark Dimension 7 Cosmic Section. We were able to one-shot the last node using this dream team here of the Annihilators plus Val and Kang. Highly recommend, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys can afford the osmium. This team was super fun. I fully expect the same result because I've heard these cosmic nodes aren't that bad, and overall, especially given what we see in the first node, it was really smooth. So let's get right to it. The gameplay now for the second node. Now, you'll see here that I'm starting off with Thanos endgame still damaged from the previous node. I didn't want to heal him up. I just wanted to see if he can actually be, safe and kept away from damage. And in this case, because we do have an on-spawn taunt like Gladiator, we should be able to protect them. So I recommend, if you guys are starting off with similar characters to myself, to focus in on and controlling Rogue. You don't want the enemy Rogue to be going, because if she activates her special, it could prevent us from obviously attacking some of the key enemy damage dealers that we want to be focused in on, right? Remember, we always want to aim for damage dealers, so that way the less damage that's done to us, the longer we'll be able to survive. I think using Val, the mass ability block on that right side, is going to be good, just because it stops a lot of attacks. And then now we can actually focus on some of our other abilities to control the left side. That way it just splits it evenly. Yellow Jacket can do some good damage, so using Thanos endgame to add the trauma stun on him will buy us a little bit of time. Remember, Black Bolt also has his passive attacks there, so we have to be very mindful of any of our allies dropping below an HP threshold. But you can see, thanks to the abilities that we've used, Thanos endgame is actually in a very healthy state once again. This is kind of what I was hoping for, because we got some good support with the Annihilators team. And now we're going to be building our exposure. Remember, anytime that we have exposure and we're attacking those enemies with exposure, we're generating ability energy for Val, and as well as other characters on our team, thanks to endgame Thanos' passive. So you can see where this snowballs very quickly, right? These enemies don't seem to be consisting a lot of high HP pools, so we're attacking these enemies with exposure, especially Rogue, and we're doing really good. At 31 out of 34 enemies, it is going to spawn another wave here, another Rogue that we do need to be mindful of. There's a couple of these Green Goblins as well, one classic, one of the OGs, so definitely want to be taking and focusing on them. Thankfully, because of Green Goblin actually having charges, our Gore can directly counter him as well, so just something to be mindful of there. We're going to repeat the strategy that we employed in turn 1, which is we're applying an ability block on the enemy Rogue once again to control this. The Kang gets his ultimate finally, and we are able to rewind, do some nice heavy burst of damage, and we're looking like we're in full control right now. Remember, Gore also has an ability block, so I think a big one to control is the Green Goblin Classic, just because he's got that ultimate that can rewind us, so we definitely want to be mindful of that. We get Thanos endgame is special once again. Thanks to the low energy cost and cooldown, we're able to generate energy and get that back again. So controlling once again. Look at all the mass stuns that we have, the debuffs. We're looking like we're completely snowballing these waves that are coming at us. And the best part is that we're generating a lot of ability energy. We're casting exposure. This is also utilized from Val's basic ability, so make sure you take advantage of that. We don't really want to use her ultimate too often, just because it's such a heavy cost, and it can also bring back our allies from the dead, right? So you do want to be saving that in basically crisis moments. But we're looking good, guys. 29 out of 34 enemies. Their main damage dealers are controlled right now. There's a couple of enemies that we have with exposure. Things are really good. I think this is actually more smooth than the last node that we played, being the first section for Cosmic, because these enemies are slower than what we had to deal with, and as well, we're controlling a lot of them with stuns and so forth. So if you're finding yourself you're in this moment where you don't have to use abilities, it's okay. Feel free to use the basic ability, because you don't have to use your abilities if some of the key enemy targets like Black Bolt, Green Goblin Classic are already controlled. Like, there's not really a lot of damage dealers on this enemy wave, so we can actually be smart about it and just wait. But in the meantime, always use Gladiator Special, because it's just a nice little AoE kind of support for our team, but as well being able to add the on spawn taunt once again on him, so he's soaking up damage. We rinse and repeat with Val special, the mass AoE ability block there, and rinsing and repeating. So you can see how this is just so streamlined, so smooth. We're controlling everybody that spawns, and we're having absolutely no issues whatsoever. So now it's back to Kang. He definitely does have less of an important role on this team, but because of him being a tech character, I find that he just complemented the rest of this team very well. We didn't have to utilize a lot of mystic characters, surprisingly, and this is a cosmic team. So that's kind of a nice reality of the future Dark Dimensions, is that with the addition of Annihilators, 2 of these characters being Bio and Thanos being Skill, it's going to give us some more options in the future where we don't have to lean so heavy into the Mystic gear, right? And we can actually save up for characters like Val, you know, other, maybe the Eternals in the future if they ever get a rework. But yeah, we're looking really good, guys. At this point, 21 out of 34 enemies remaining, and again, you don't have to use abilities if you just want to build up energy, especially characters like the Hulkbuster and going through these enemies here. They're just not doing a lot of damage. The Green Goblin to the left, like, honestly, no issues whatsoever. Okay, so we're just basically using our basic abilities, building up energy, and just cleaning up these waves. Super easy, you can see, right? And overall, like, we're just in such a great position now, because even when the next wave spawns, most of our abilities are maxed already at energy, so it's just super smooth, guys. Like, it's hard not to one shot. To be honest, you probably don't even need Val in this cosmic section. I thought originally it was going to be icing on the cake, but you can see it's mainly the Annihilators, and we're having really good control thanks to you know, Kang rewinding, and once again using his ultimate to do a lot of damage too. So once again, starting things off similar to how we started before, the ability block on a side to control. And then we do have some of these other Pimtech characters that we're dealing with here, so just be mindful of that. And once again, refreshing everything here with the special. I love using this Gladiator special. It's so visually pleasing, but as well the debuffs, the taunt, and being able to protect our team and giving a bit of support as well. So anytime there's charges, make sure you guys utilize Gore, because that's what he's known for. Absolutely amazing. And once again, rinse and repeat the Kang Bang ultimate ability, and we're rewinding everything once again. This team just has absolutely no chance against us. Maybe if the Rogues actually were able to get their abilities off, but every time they spawn, we control them. So I think the only issue you could potentially have in Cosmic is if you don't have enough crowd controlling aspects. If you don't have, you know, ability blocks or stunners to control these enemy waves, then I can definitely see it being problematic. But otherwise, we're looking really good, guys. So I opted to use a special there because I was actually hoping to stun the Bishop, but I didn't expect to kill him. So that was a, you know, bit of a wasted ability, but it is what it is. We're close to finishing this node anyways. So once again, casting more exposure, devastating basic ability there. It hits like an absolute truck. And at this point, I recommend keep on focusing either the exposed targets or just finishing off the enemy waves. At 12 out of 34, it is going to spawn this pseudo mixture here of the Extreme X-Men team as well as Rogue, just to give you a bit of a complimentary piece there. But you can see there, you know, because we're getting really close to the finish line here, we're going to be using the abilities to the utmost pretty soon. So once again, similar pattern to what we've done. The ability block on Rogue, we shut her down, and then it's basically a good game because we can now target whoever we want. There's an additional exposure target. There's only 9 out of 34 enemies remaining, and that is actually going to spawn the remainder, I believe. These are the last final 8 characters that we have to take care of. And keep in mind, none of these characters are going forward into Dark Dimension with us, so we can use every ability now to the utmost. It won't matter because none of them will be used again. So that's always a fun time because we just blow everything, right? So special once again. You can see how smooth this is though, guys. So like I said, I think definitely what's been helpful is Val using the mass ability block. But just remember, I don't think, just based on this gameplay anyways, I don't think she's needed, especially if you're strapped for Osmium. I think if you have the 3 Annihilator characters, they can probably get the job done as well. Some other supporting pieces in cast. I've always liked Photon. Photon as a bio-cosmic character was a nice addition to as well. She's cheap. But yeah, otherwise, now we're just basically cleaning up, guys. We're just going to use all our abilities here. You bet we're going to be using Val's ultimate to just completely wipe everything off the floor. And it's just funny because I feel like the enemies we were up against in this node anyways, like, they just never got a chance to use their abilities. And oh darn, you saw that? Our Kang actually got finished off by Black Bolt, but so I don't expect him to be revived. No, it doesn't look like he's coming back. So that was unfortunate. I almost got a perfect attempt here, but it is what it is. We still got the one shot here from what we can see, and again, super smooth, super straightforward. You have the right team synergies here, so I was pretty happy with this. And we were able to one shot the last node as well. So this team is just a dream team for Cosmic if you guys have the resources to do it. And once again, it's the 3 Annihilators plus Val and Kang, which is 2 bio characters, 1 skill, 1 mystic, and as well as 1 tech. So it's just a beautiful spread of traits. Only exception is we didn't have any mutants, but to be fair, we're probably going to be using more mutants anyways in the legendary section here. So one shot here of, I believe this is node 9, being the second node for Cosmic, Dark Dimension 7. And as per usual, we are going to take a look at where we rank right now, because we've done this in the past just to see, you know, how the progress has been. But I think global is probably going to be the linchpin of a lot of these nodes. So there you go, the one shot attempt there. And we are just going to go back. Yeah, I just want to see if we were able to even make it into the rankings. We weren't. Let's take a look now at the leaderboard. Oh, misclick there. Okay, let me try again. Yeah, so top 5,000, ladies and gentlemen. Top 5,000, Dark Dimension 7. Looking good. So thank you for your time as always. Hope this is helpful, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.